things just got interesting. Welcome back to another video. Arsenal last night slipped up in the title race. A 2-0 defeat at the hands of West Ham United. West Ham United, forever blowing bubbles down there. It was massively appreciated. Thank you to everyone over at West Ham. Arsenal dropping points, and suddenly little old City, crisis-induced Manchester City, if they win their game in hand, could level with Arsenal on points, go ahead on goal difference, and of course be only 2 points behind Liverpool, which is it's not bad, isn't it, given the fact that we've only won 2 out of our last 7 league games, and everyone talked about how much we were in a mess. It's Manchester City for you. Do not write off this City side. Guardiola said, I dare you to write off this side, and he understands how difficult it is to be out ahead when Manchester City are chasing you. It's very, very difficult. Anyway, hello to everyone in the chat. Onami, Edward, Matt, Tom, good evening to you all. I can't wait for tomorrow as well. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a really interesting game. And I'm confident going into tomorrow's game, even with some sort of not great news in terms of the injury front before the game. I'm still confident that this City side will step up and show another side to them that we haven't seen a lot of this season. I'm hoping for a really comfortable victory tomorrow. I don't know, but either way, I think it's fair to say things are starting to really heat up right now. Like things have been up and down and whatever, but this City side right now, I don't know, things are starting to slowly unravel for them in a positive way. I'll show you the table. There's the table, of course. There currently sat in 4th, 2 points behind Villa, but of course with the game in hand on all these sides above us. If we get that 3 points, you'll see we'll be up into 2nd and 40 points, but a superior goal difference will put us in 2nd, of course. 2 points behind Liverpool. It looks good given the results that we've just played. We'll suddenly be 1 point ahead of Villa and 4 points ahead of Spurs, which will be really nice. It'll be a really nice turnaround, given the confidence levels were pretty much rock bottom at 1 point. I can't wait for this game. I really can't. Do let me know in the chat, of course, how you're feeling about it. Hello to Wickerman as well. Hello to Stephen Handler as well, and Jonathan. Stephen Handler, no, we won't sign anyone in January. I'm almost certain. I don't think there's any signs that we're going to sign anyone in January, so I'm not expecting it at all. Hello as well. Who's just being potentially awful. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be like a proper, hopefully a bit of I don't know, battering. That's what I want to see tomorrow. I want to see City just really go for it, because this game is the kind of game where, like, it could be a bit of a frustrating one, but they're not looking great in terms of injuries right now. Of course, the context, Sheffield United are at the bottom of the table down there. They're currently sat in 20th. They've struggled to get any results this season. They're at the halfway point now, of course, bang on the halfway point. 9 points is a really low tally for them. McAtee won't play either. PNUK, I think it's against the rules, full stop. I don't think even City get a choice in it. I think it's against Premier League rules for loanies to play against their home club. I don't think it's a City thing. So I think City even said when Sheffield United played City in the FA Cup as well, the semi-finals, that they would have been happy with Tommy Doyle and McAtee playing. But once again, it was FA rules that wouldn't let him play. So I think there's a common misconception that the parent club says no. But it's actually usually just governing bodies, because they don't want to be seen. They don't want an issue, basically. They don't want an issue. So unfortunately, PNUK, Blaze fans, that can't happen. As Mark said, please do hit the like button if you are a fan of this kind of content. And subscribe to the channel while you're at it as well. So let's go to Guardiola's press conference quotes. He talked about the 2023. He said, it's not been bad at all, has it? He said, not bad at all, not bad, a bit better. Don't be too greedy. Don't be greedy too much. We lose a game and we're out of the title race, and we win a game and we're there. Anything can happen. And he's absolutely right. 2023 is hands down the most successful year in this club's history. And he's saying it feels weird to say that out loud, because we experienced it. Like I'm saying it out loud, and it actually happened in our lifetime. Do you know how lucky we are? We will never see probably a season again. Well, we might do, but it's probably going to be a one-off if we do. A season where we win the Premier League, the FA Cup, beating United, by the way, the Champions League to complete a treble, then the Super Cup, and then winning the Club World Cup as well. 5 trophies in one season. It's basically as good as it gets. Like the only way it could be better was the Carabao Cup and Community Shield, and let's be honest, those two I would at the bottom of the list anyway, compared to all these other trophies. Like, you want to win the Super Cup and Club World Cup because it means you won the Champions League. So the Carabao instinctively sits below that. I mean, the only way you can get better is to win 7, but no one's ever going to win 7. It's not going to happen. Either way, this is just a stupidly good year. 2023, remarkable. Guardiola's right. He talked about Sheffield United. He said, what in the past was a few problems against Sheffield, and it would be so tough. They defend so deep and play long balls to McBurney, and the other ones. We try and be focused to get results and don't make mistakes. The other ones. and a nice little, sort of just, them lot of McBurney. McBurney, of course, is their focal point. He said, we have to be consistent in the title race. The lower teams in the bottom, they get results. This season, it's common for them to get results in a more comfortable way, but let's not give up. Never by never and game by game, no. The outside noise is what it is. Inside, we have to be calm and keep going. Guardiola is absolutely right. It is always one game at a time. Always one game at a time. And he's right that anyone can beat anyone in the league this year. Some people would say everyone's got stronger. Some people would say the league's weaker. I don't really know. But ultimately, I think it makes for a more entertaining league if everyone can beat anyone. So I like it. I absolutely like it. And I want City to turn that around, though. And I think what I want City to take this game seriously. Pepsi Dave says many Blues don't realise how fortunate we are. It's been an insane year. Drink it all the way in. Cheers. Exactly, mate. And Mark, Rami, where I live, and Mark lives too, is horrible. The weather is absolutely horrible. We went out for a walk today with Ruben and got outside and turned around because he was shivering straight away. We're like, no. Horrible weather. It's been a really miserable December, actually. It's been so wet. And I don't mind coldness. I don't mind a bit of wind, but when it's wet and windy, you got a baby, you can't go anywhere because it's just too much. Horrible weather. I hate winter. Anyone who likes winter, by the way, you're a freak. Winter's horrible. Christmas great, but winter horrible. No, especially if you're in the northwest, just cold and rainy and windy and just grim. And it's always dark and it's horrible. I hate the winter. Give me this. I don't mind cold weather, by the way. Cold weather and a nice day when you've got a big coat on, you walk in, lovely stuff. Anyway, I'm ranting about the weather there. Guardiola talks about the schedule. Says when we qualify for the Champions League, we can focus on the Premier League after being world champions. We have Huddersfield here in the FA Cup, but the Premier League is the most important focus in the past. Absolutely. The injury update there is that De Bruyne, Haaland, Doku and Stones are all out. I think Diaz is available then. I know he's been training. Said nothing changed from the last game. We have the same injured plus John Stones. Does that mean that Diaz is not available then? But that Diaz was trading. I don't know. It's confusing on the Diaz front. I'm going to take it that Diaz is available, and that's a sort of a slight miscommunication from Guardiola. I presume Diaz is available. If you look at Sheffield United, their recent results, they were so close. They were so close to getting a victory at one point against Luton until they conceded 2 goals in the last 15 minutes. They messed it up. They were the better team as well, if we're being honest. There they were. And it's going to cost him potentially because they've got a few players like Ahmedzovic and Hamer are out, I think, potentially. Before that, of course, they got a pretty good draw at home. Away, for Villa, where Villa been excellent at home. That was really good. They did lose to Chelsea 2-0 before that. They did beat Brentford 1-0, though. When you look at how they played against Brentford, it worked for them. James McAtee, of course, you can't play, sadly. Got the goal there, but they've been operating something like this for most of the season, really, with Hamer, Brooks, Archer, Sula, Sousa, Robertson, Ahmedzovic, Fotheringham, Bogle, McAtee, all these players involved. In terms of their actual injuries, I think they've got quite a few players out. I was reading the notes earlier. Chris Basham's out, John Egan, Tom Davis, I think Jefferson as well. Ahmedzovic and Gustavo Hamer are both obviously first teams. They're both suspended. McAtee's not available. Yeah, they are missing quite a few people. They are key players for them. You can't deny that. Hamer in particular has been a great signing from Coventry City. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. PN UK, have I missed anyone there who's 352 more often than not, of course. PN UK is a Sheffield United fan in the chat. I always bow to the obviously the actual fans' knowledge more than you watch your own team more than you watch other teams, don't you? There we go. That's more like how they play there with the 3 sort of 5-2. I mean, obviously that formation says 3-4-2-1, but it's like a 3-5-2. And it's going to be tough for them. I think they would be the first to admit, Sheffield United fans. it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to stay up this season. And they do give us a game, to be fair. They always do give us a game. I remember in particular the Kyle Walker long ranger a couple of years back to win 1-0 away. I think it was 1-0, was it? Either way, we've always had a bit of a fight. It could be, though, I'm hoping that there's a player too many missing for the Sheffield United side, and they won't be looking at this game as one that is going to change their season. They'll be looking ahead maybe to West Ham at home, or Palace, Aston Villa potentially at home, Luton away. These games are Brighton at home, Wolves. These games seem much more reasonable attempts at getting points. Looking at we're looking against Luton. Yeah, 2 own goals as well. Yeah, absolutely they were. But, I mean, right now they are 7 points off safety. And Everton's side there, of course, with reduction as well. I don't see Sheffield United staying up, and I don't think that's controversial. They'll have to have a freakish second half of the season. They conceded 47 goals. Of course, that's including the 8 goals against Newcastle back in September as well. It's been a tough season for them. I think it's fair to say the squad hasn't got the quality to stay up, but they have got the quality to give people a game at very, very least. If we talk about this City side, when you look at how we played the other day, let me go back to our results. This is how we played the other day against Everton. We played well, in my opinion. It was good. When we changed it in the second half. The other day it was Alvarez, Grealish, Foden, Bernardo, Mateus Nunes, Rodri, Ake, Akanji, Stones, and Walker. And I think the team picks itself here, by the way. I think it really does pick itself. Bearing that in mind there, I'm going to go over to this here. Ederson, of course, will be in goal. I do think... Well, does it pick itself? Yeah, I think it does. I look at the team the other day. Kanji did play. I think Diaz will be on the bench because I'm not sure he's fit. So I'm going to say it'll be Vardiol at left back. He had a good cameo. Ake there, Kanji there, Walker here. I think Diaz is probably going to be on the bench because he's not been well. He might have started Diaz, but I think Diaz will probably be on the bench for this one. Kanji had a good, actually had a good cameo the other day when he came on. He played a bit more central. I know we don't want him to do the Stones role fully, but he had a good game. Not when he came on, sorry, when he changed his role. When Josko Vardiol came on and Akanji went more as a midfielder, I thought he had a really nice cameo there. So it'll be Rodri. To me, we were so much better when Kovacic was alongside Rodri. So I'm expecting to see that again. I think it makes more sense. Foden, I think, is absolutely going to start in the centre. Pep was buzzing with him. Super Jack Grealish should be out here. It's almost certain. This is going to be Bernardo Silva, and of course this is going to be Julian Alvarez. There's absolutely no reason to change the team much more than this. Ruben Diaz could be the odd change here and there, but I do reckon it's going to be... Look at that Liverpool fan saying, take back our Premier League. It ain't your Premier League, mate. It's our Premier League. What you on about? You won it years ago. We won the last 3 in a row. It's ours. One title, one Premier League title. Obviously, I know you won more than that in history, but in terms of the Premier League, yeah, come on. It's not your Premier League. You've had it once. You got the same claim to the Premier League title as Leicester and Blackburn. Come on, Barry. Let's be realistic here, mate. But either way, you are having a good season, so I do take Liverpool seriously. I just had to comment on Barry's comment in the chat there. Liverpool are top and they deserve to be top. That's what I will say. I'm going to say this is going to be something like this. The only possible change is if you look at the lineup the other day and you see who was on the bench. You had, Kovacic, Vardiol. I think they both start this game. Ortega, Lewis, Gomez. Look, it's going to be the bench. It's going to be a weak bench, isn't it? It's going to be a really weak bench. We'll try and work out the bench. Let me see if we can get the bench up. So not available is Doku, Stones, KDB, Haaland. And who else? Doku, Stones, KDB, and Haaland, I think. They're the ones not available. So in terms of actual substitutions, who's... I'll put it here and write it down. There's not available ones. Who are the substitutes that are actually available then? Let's have a... It'll be Ortega, Carson, Gomez. If I miss, probably Diaz on the bench, if not the other centre-back. Phillips will be there. Bob, Nunes, and is that it? And then after that, then it's going to be the academy lads, isn't it? It's going to be, so how many players is that? That's 7 there, so it'll be Hamilton, Oh, Rico Lewis. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be Lewis, won't it? Rico Lewis. And Hamilton, maybe? Was Carson on the bench the other day? No, he wasn't. I don't think they put Carson on, so they'll put Sousa instead, I reckon. So it won't be Carson, it'll be Sousa. I think it'll be that. I think the bench will be that, right? Yeah, it'll be something like that. Which does not look like the most... oops, sorry, I'll go over to here. So it'll be something like that, the squad, won't it, I reckon? It's not the most electric, if we're being honest, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, we haven't got many options. Put it that way. If we want to change it, we haven't got many options. So it's gonna be something like that. Grealish is a good point there. Edward said Grealish might not be involved because of family issues. Of course, Grealish, sadly, his home was broken into by some thugs. I think his family were in the house at the same time. I think Guardiola said they're all okay. I think Jack Warby will play for what it's worth, but I wouldn't be surprised if he feels a bit on edge, you know, and his family do, because it was horrible. But that's awful. I'm glad that no one got hurt, though, which is good news. He had a big robbery on his house, unfortunately. But I don't think it'll be something like this in terms of the team. The options off the bench there, there's not much, really. It's going to have to be like Nunez, Lewis, Diaz. They're the sort of serious ones. Yeah, Guardiola's confirmed KDB's not making the bench. He's back in full training, but his fitness still and his tiredness, you know, apparently. They don't want to take any risks with KDB, and they're absolutely right not to. They want to make sure his stamina's back there because tired players get injured, you know. So he is back in full training, but full training doesn't mean fit yet. So we've got the table here, you know. Here's the table. Sorry. Here's the table here right now. Look at the games coming up for Manchester City as well. I'll get our fixtures up here. Of course, we've got Huddersfield in a week after this, which is nice. So we've got a week off. I've gone the wrong way there. And then after that, of course, as well, you've got Newcastle away, which is another week later. And then it's only I like how there's a week between games at the moment. So then you've got Burnley 2 weeks later. So you got that 2 week winter break as well. It looks pretty decent in terms of a bit of rest. So that's what I'm going to go for in terms of the lineup. You've seen that there. Having said that, with the actual team, I think they've got too many people missing Sheffield United. I respect them. I think they're a good side. But I still do think City will win this pretty comfortably. I'm sorry, any fans Sheffield United watching this, but I think it could be 4-0 or something like that. I suspect we'll run away with it. I do actually agree with Anime in the chat. He said if Grealish doesn't make it, I'd throw Hamilton in. I actually think you deserve it as well. At home is a good place to make your debut, I reckon. Your full Premier League debut against the team in 20th. I would go for it too, but I suspect in the circumstance that he couldn't play, what we'd actually see is Mateus Nunes come in and there'd be some jigging around in positions. I think Foden would actually go on the left, sadly. But Diaz could start as well. Yeah, he could start. But I think, yeah, Grealish was available. I think he'd play Nunes and then he'd just work Rico Lewis and then he'd mix it around a little bit and put, you know, the senior players in. Though I would play the kid as well in that instance. I think he would have deserved it. But I'm going to say 4-0, I reckon. I can see it being a comfortable game. I'm happy. I'm confident. I think when we'll see KD back, Zach asking when do you think we'll see KD be back? To me, I think potentially Newcastle or maybe Burnley. I think they're going to be really cautious. I really think they'll be looking at that winter break of 2 weeks after the Newcastle game and going, that's tempting. Let him have 2 more weeks just to be on the safe side and then back for the Burnley game. That means he only misses 2 league games. Newcastle away. Because I personally wouldn't bring KDB back at Newcastle away. Like, would you? Would you bring him back for Newcastle away? I wouldn't. I know it's a big game, like we want him, but it's St. James's Park in the middle of winter. And Newcastle's form hasn't been good, so they'll be up for it. They'll be kicking people. I don't know. It's got to be a home game. And when you look at Burnley at home, that on the 31st of January, that to me seems perfect, doesn't it? Like, there's the fixtures again. So, like, Huddersfield, there's no point. I don't think they'll bring him back for Huddersfield. He could be on the bench for Huddersfield, potentially. You could get 10 minutes if we're comfortable there. Newcastle, no chance in my opinion. Burnley's the one for me. I know it seems a long way away, but it's only 2 more games after this one tomorrow, so I don't think it's worth risking him. Burnley back, then for Brentford, and then Everton at home, and everything. Oh, it'll be nice. And back for Chelsea, of course. That's what I reckon, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you make of the game. We'll be live in the watch long post 2 o'clock tomorrow, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want some more content to watch, of course, head over to the channel. The 5 things that we learned yesterday's there, so the fan view live and the match reaction and all these things as well. Go and give it a check out if you haven't already. It's a good video, I promise you. It's lovely stuff. For now, though, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Come on, City.